Anyway, this is cool. This is my first ever virtual Zoom workshop, fiddle workshop. I've been lucky and traveled to lots of festivals with my dad playing and have had opportunities to teach people in person. So this is the first time. So maybe we can someday see each other in person and talk about how this went. So I hope it was okay. But as I already said, I'm gonna play through. I'm gonna play it more moderate initially, the tune, so you can hear it a few times through. And then my plan is to basically be a human slow downer. So I will play each part really slow, probably the A and B, stick on the A for a long time. And then I'll even do it even more, break it up even more. So like per phrase over and over again. So we'll kind of unassemble it as we go so it gets even more in your head. Yeah, so I'll probably naturally stop after a little bit and check in. I think, I don't know if you have the setting to raise your hand. That might be something too at some point, but whatever, we'll figure it out. So as I already said, I'm gonna do this. I'm on a bouncy ball too, so don't get distracted if I'm bouncing. But I'm gonna do a tune, as I said already, Sail Away Ladies, that comes from Uncle Bunt Stevens, fiddler who actually, I live in Nashville, Tennessee. My dad's in Philadelphia. But yeah, this fiddler, he recorded for Columbia Records in like the mid-20s. There aren't too many recordings of him, and he has a very special, iconic Sail Away Ladies. So some of you may have heard it before. You definitely probably know that melody, but this one has some particularities that are really nice. So I hope they can come through on the screen. But yeah, he's so this guy, Uncle Bud Stevens. He's from, well, I don't know if he was born there, but I know that he had a farm in Lynchburg, Tennessee, which is about 60 miles south of Nashville. So nearby where I am. So kind of a local flavor of sorts. And he got to play on the Grand Ole Opry before it officially became the Opry, and was well known around these parts with a lot of fiddle contests. So if you don't know him or haven't heard him, check him out. And we can write the details in the chat if we need to later. But okay, here we go. I'll play it, like I said, a couple times moderately paced tempo, and then we'll break it down. And then let you know, guys, too, I am in standard. So this tune is in G, G, D, A, E. Yeah, I don't know who that was. That was Lynn. If you want to mute yourself, that might be good.
I was muted. Okay.
But that was sounding good. Sounded like you were in tune. There we go. I think that worked. Okay, cool. Yeah, and feel free. I mean, I hope that you can hear well, but if you're muted, you can play as loud as you want, and I can't hear you, so you can noodle as much as you need, which is different if we'd be in person. All right. So I'll play it first, and then we'll talk a little bit more, and then see how it goes. see some bows moving already. That's great. What I wanted to say, if you can tell right off the bat, and it's okay if you can't, you will by the end of this, but I play the first part, the A part, 4 times through, and the B part is twice. If you could hear that kind of way of classifying the phrases. So if you want to start kind of putting your fingers to the fingerboard, it kind of the A part lives in that middle G position, or kind of the middle string. So your first finger is on the A string as a B note, and then the corresponding G note on your D string is over there. And then you get this really great drone on your open G. So if you're newer to kind of figuring out the shapes, this is a great tune because it shows a lot of G shapes. It's basically all G most of the time. So if you're playing with a guitar player, there are some quick, especially in the A part, there's some quick 5 chords, but most of them it's mostly G. So, yes, Uncle Ben Stevens. So I will do that first phrase now. Like I said, we're going to go kind of deconstruct as we go. So I'm going to play the whole A, I don't know, a dozen or so times, a little slower, and this will be a time where you can maybe pick out some phrases. I don't know if you can see bowing very well where you are, but there's some really cool bowing patterns, which at some point I'll check in, but I can actually speak them as I do them. If I do a little slower, if I go slow enough, if that's helpful at some point. Yeah, so starting out the A part, slow, and I'll try to position this so you can see my fingers maybe a little bit better. Okay. Mention if you are trying to pick up, so maybe if I can't know this, but The melody notes are pretty simple. There's not many of them. There's a lot of G and a lot of B, and then some A of the open string. But what makes this very cool is the bowing. So I'll just quickly mention before kind of going into it maybe a little bit more in depth later if you want. But every phrase starts down and then it ends up so that the next one can start down. So let's do that again, if that works. And think about that. I don't know if you can hear it or see it, but everyone starts down, and then that's up, and then it's a down, up. So that pattern repeats over and over. So if the fingers are feeling easier, and if they're not, that's okay too. But if they're feeling easier, try to start honing in on what's happening with the right hand. Okay? So I'll do that again for another couple minutes, and then I'll check in. couple slides into the B, and there's almost sort of like a hammer on. If you're hearing that, yeah, I just want to check in if that speed is too slow, too fast. Any questions? Yeah, I can keep going with that. I'm seeing some people that are maybe not playing an instrument, which is totally awesome. By the end of this, you'll probably be singing this for days. You're going to get it so ingrained into your head. Do you want to go a little faster with that? See if we can kind of, or I can go a little bit more into the bowing? Maybe? Anything? What do you think, Eric? Or we can go to the B part.
Yeah, maybe we should go. Maybe we should go to the B part, and then
Okay.
we're gonna go back and speed it up or something.
Cool. All right. So the B part. Let me just get the very first phrase of bowing. Okay, Pat. How about let's go to the B part and then we can go break into that a little bit more. Is that cool? Okay. But don't forget. Yeah. The phrasing is what makes this tune for sure. So as I said, this left hand is pretty simple, but it's not easy, and it's not when combining it with the right hand. And the bow is really what makes this instrument so hard. But I do see some guitars and some mandolins, so yeah, you're probably picking up the notes pretty well. I'm also pretty impressed with Eli. He's playing his guitar like a fiddle, it looks like.
I'm sure trying.
What? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, half of it isn't making any noise, and the other half is me trying to pick with it up like that.
Ah, okay. Creative. I like it. All right. So the B part. We'll come back to the A. Starts with your second finger on the E string, which is your high G note. You know that from any classical background. It's a pretty nice double stop. So notes start there. It's going to be... So you can play that with your unison pinky on your E with your E string, or just go open E. Okay? So then let me just go through this and then we'll break it in. bowing thing I mentioned earlier, without getting into every single bow stroke, is the same here. So the phrases start down and up, and then and that's not a rule, but a lot of tunes follow that. So if it's like one thing that you can start honing in on is a phrase will generally start down because that bow stroke is a little more powerful because we're all kind of naturally pull the bow down. And then it has to ultimately end up because then the next phrase has to start down. Okay, Eli, he's going to get a smaller guitar. That's funny. I mean, he could hold it like a normal guitar. I don't know. But, okay. Do you want to go through that again a little more? Or that has ultimately more notes or more finger movement than the first part. But they can be, oh, excuse me. Okay. Had a weird spot in my throat.
Hey, Clelia, if I could interject just for a
Yeah.
second. There's a question back there about the bowing on the A part, or at least the first phrase.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to go back to that now?
Maybe just to make sure we answer that person's question.
Okay. So, okay, let me just talk through it, and then hopefully this answers your question. If it doesn't, we can talk more. So the first phrase, the very first, I do slide into that B. And then I'm kind of doing this like rocking thing. But if you think about it without rocking, it's more of a down, up, down, up. So there's like a double up at the end. This is really the bread and butter of this tune, or the butter. I don't know. It's really, it's hard to get, but once you get it, it'll make sense. So I'll repeat that. It's what you're doing, kind of taking out the phrasing and the groove. Simple terms is down, up, down, up, down, up. I'll do that again. Down, up, down, up, down, up. So does that make sense? And then as you get more comfortable, that's where this happens. There's like a, some people call it a pulse. I don't think my dad likes that word, but it's okay. It's kind of where the rock, the groove happens. Does that help, Pat? I see your bow moving. Okay, cool. So how about we put them together now? So the first part happens 4 times through, and then the B part is 2. So let's do that now in that form and kind of get used to going back and forth. And we can do that slowly for a little bit and then check in again. Cool? Okay, same tempo for now, and then we can speed it up if we need to. One more. Also, I just noticed, thanks, Michael. He put a bunch of links in the chat about Uncle Bud Stevens. I haven't clicked on them yet, but I see the last one says findagrave.com, so there must be some information on where his grave is. I should go find it, maybe. Anyway, checking in. How was that? If there's any, could you break down the bowing phrase by phrase on the beat? Yes. His back hurts. I see the flying V is better for your ergonomically for your body, maybe. Got a nice cutout for the neck. Yeah, I see that. That's pretty good. Okay. Yes. So the bowing for the B. So remember I mentioned it's pretty similar, but I mentioned that you start it down and then you always end a phrase up. So how that translates will be you go down, up. So there's a slur. You're picking up, there's some slurs, but you're gonna go down, down, up, down, up. I don't know, can you hear me talking as I play? Okay, cool. I'll do that again. Down, down, up, down, up. One more time. Down, down, up, down, up. And then down, up, down, up, down, up. I'll do that again. Down, up, down, up, down, up. And then down, up, down, up, down, up. Same thing here from the first. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Is that good? Do you need it more? Hopefully you can hear. Yeah? Okay. Do you want to try it all faster? Like like a little bit faster? No? Yes? Maybe? Okay. I'm seeing some thumbs up. Okay, cool. Let's go a little faster. From the top, I'll give us a little potato action, which is just 4 counts in so we can hear it. This is really cool. Any, how did that go? Feeling pretty good? I see a lot of thumbs up. How cool is this? All right. It worked. Oh, thank you. Yes. And Lynn, I'm really glad that you're enjoying it. It's my pleasure. Thank goodness for technology. Could you imagine if this is happening and we didn't have Zoom? Things would be a lot worse for us, probably emotionally. Okay. Anyway, do you want to, for fun, just for fun, to play it a little faster? And it's okay. Things might get sloppy, but it might come around. So I'll play it a few more times, a little more peppy, and then yeah, then we can, you know, follow up with any questions or anything of the sort. All right, a little faster. Sorry, I got my bouncy ball and everything. Well, that looked good. I don't know how it sounded, but it looked really good. Eric's on the phone. Some people are eating lunch. I love this. This is awesome. Thank you for the clap. For clapping. This is so cool. It worked. On the trail out part at the end, are you doubling the A string? Let me think about this. That maybe ask me?
Yes. So right there's like I'm pretty sure it's a 5 chord,
Yeah.
but it sounds like you may be playing the A on the D string as well as the A on the open.
Yeah. This one, uh, yeah, it's from the B part, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It is an A. There's, hold on. Let me think. I don't know if
Is it
let me play it really quick.
C part? I think there's
Is that what you mean?
okay. So you play an open.
Yeah, open.
I thought I could hear. I thought I could hear the A against something else.
Oh, you mean, oh, maybe, like it's oh, I might be, yeah, like I leave my
Nice.
G, I leave the G
Right.
finger down to, just cause, I don't know, it's laziness. Well, a lot of, that's the thing, a lot of fiddlers just, anytime you have to move your fingers less. And if it sounds cool, go with it. But I think that's what you're hearing, a little,
Yeah.
a little dissonant.
You actually said hitting the G and the open G.
Yeah.
You're hitting, yeah. Okay.
Nice catch. I'm glad you can hear that. Okay.
Really, thank you so much. This is so wonderful to have you
I know,
here.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into this.
Yeah, well, you know, earlier, before we started, you were talking a little bit about your background and how you came to be
How I came to be.
as a fiddler and as a teacher.
Yeah. So, yeah. Earlier, what Michael was referring to, Eric asked me when I started playing fiddle, and I officially started seriously when I was 14. I'm 30 now, so 16 years ago. But I grew up with my father playing, of course, professionally with a lot of people, and going to festivals, and my mom also plays and dances. So anyway, I grew up in the scene and around a lot of musicians and music of this nature. And on top of that, as you know, because my dad works on instruments because he cut his finger, I was always given a violin from him as I was a very small child. So, you know, they come in like very tiny sizes. They go all the way down to 30 seconds. But I don't think I had a 32nd, but I might have had a 16th and then an 8th and then a quarter and so on. So every time I got one, I would learn a tune from him, something very simple. But I really didn't like it. Truly, it was more of a novelty. What? My dad's back. Anyway, he can come on in a second. So yes, I was exposed around it all. And I always had instruments of all varieties beyond violin or fiddle, but I didn't really like it the way I do now until I was 14. And that just happened by going to one of the usual festivals and seeing my dad and his friends play. And at the time too, I was friends with, still am, but there were a lot of people my age, the daughters and sons of his friends. So my peer group, my age group, we all got into music around the same time. So yeah, that's that. And then because I'd been going to camps, I actually got into teaching very quickly after I started playing, because I was it actually happened, I remember it was at Southern Week at Ashokin, which is up in upstate New York. I grew up going there. And it was about 2-3 years after I started, officially playing. And one of their teachers had to cancel really last minute, and it was the Fiddle from Scratch class. And so the director there, Jay Unger, asked me if I could teach that. And yeah, I did. And then since then, I don't know, I've had a lot of requests and opportunities to teach, so I've been doing it whenever I can. But yeah, it started pretty quickly after I started playing. Any other questions? My dad's here too, so. Do you agree?
I unmuted myself. I don't know.
What?
I said I just unmuted myself.
I see. Do you agree with what I said?
Yes. Every word.
It checks out, guys. I didn't fabricate anything.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I joined late, but is there a chord chart for this tune? And where does the tune come from?
Yeah.
And, okay.
So actually, I don't know if you can see the previous chat box, but anyway, Michael posted a bunch. Actually, I'll just copy and paste it. I'll do it right now in the chat. But his tune comes from Uncle Bun Stevens, who I don't know exactly where he was born, but he's a Tennessee fiddler, and that's where I'm living currently. And it's just his version of "Sail Away Ladies" that is pretty only attributed to him in this particular way. So this tune, there's so many varieties, but this one is specifically Uncle Bun's version. He played some on the Opry before it was called the Grand Ole Opry, kind of in that showman fiddling, and did some contests as well around here that he won. So, and then as far as chord chart, I don't have one on hand, but I'm sure if you Google this, it's such a common tune, you could probably find something. But it is 1, 4, and 5. Very little fours, just mostly 1 and 5. Mostly 1, actually. But I hope that helps.
Sure. No minor chords in there, or are they sometimes substituted?
No, not for this one. There are a lot of versions of this tune, and you can do that. There's definitely some substitutions you could throw in there. But this one is it's major all the way. But
Great.
of course, try it out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Anything else, people?
Good job.
Thanks. I hope your finger gets better.
I guess I haven't looked at the rest of the festival schedule, but we're going to be in a concert later on, right? At some point, maybe Eric can.
What time? I don't actually.
Yeah. So the I actually don't know exactly what time you're slated on the performance schedule, but in fact, I think I could share that screen, so we can all look at that together. So the schedule is on the TradFest homepage that you all got to hear from. So that looks like this. Thumbs up if you can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I can only see the bottom of it, but okay.
okay. So
There you go.
here's the schedule. So you all 3:14 exactly.
So
And then again at 4:28. And somebody was asking about the tip jars. I don't know if I can copy and paste from this PDF document, but there are the virtual. So I don't think I can paste those in the chat box.
I can type it.
Oh, okay, awesome, thanks.
I'll do that right now. Answering a question too.
I see that 3:14 is. Let's see. The full performance is at 4. I can barely see it, but 4:20, 4:50. I don't know.
4:28.
4:28. Okay.
Also, you guys, I just realized as I was typing my dad's PayPal information, it's Uncle Bunt 1, which is literally that's his alter ego or whatever, his alias he's acquired is Uncle Bunt, which is after this tune.
Hi, Phil. Okay, it's got to be real fast because I'm in the midst of this Zoom stuff, but go for it. I gotta mute.
And Pat, yes, these are pre-recorded. This is our concert is from actually a concert we did in January of this year at Davidson College in North Carolina. We were trying to figure out how to do it via Zoom because we don't live near each other, but this is better. I promise it would sound better.
It would be very complicated.
I don't know. Yeah, we'd have to overdub.
It may not even sound that good, But anyway, yeah. Stick around for that. You can.
Yep. Yeah, because otherwise my dad would probably just have to play the banjo,
No, I can't play the banjo. That's even worse.
You just play chords or something. With 3 fingers. Bar chords. I don't know.
Thank God that it's pre-recorded. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do that either. Yeah, it would have been a mess.
Yeah. So yeah, I put my dad's PayPal, and if anyone doesn't like PayPal, I have a Venmo, but I don't know how that's all working, so it's all good. You can get a hold of us if you.
There's quite a few people that followed it. That's wonderful. From everywhere, it seems. All right. Well, I'm going to get off now. So I'll see you all at the concert.
Well, yeah, hey, how about big round of applause for Rafe and Clelia?
Yay! Yay! Thank you. It was great.
We really
Wonderful too. Well taught.
Thank you guys.
checking out your performance this afternoon. The time, if anybody missed it, is posted in the chat box, 428 for the full performance. We got another workshop coming up in 5 minutes. It's a flat foot dance workshop with Ruth Alpert joining us from California. So if y'all want to take the, if anybody's sticking around for that, we're just going to take a very short break and get her set up and ready to go. But thank you again, Clelia. Really awesome.
Thanks, guys.
So glad we could pull this off.
Yeah, thank you. I hope we can meet in person. I was looking forward to coming to Santa Fe, but next time, hopefully.
Next time. Thanks.
All right, I'm going to sign off. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Eric. And Bye.